Okay, so the stat button is right here, okay? So that's the stat button. So you click on the stat button, and then it should bring you to that little screen. You want to hit edit. So edit, enter, and then it's going to bring you to this list up here. You want to scroll your cursor to the top of the list so that it, like the L1 is highlighted, or the L2. And then you're going to hit clear so that the list is empty, right? And then you're going to do the same thing for the L1, right? So you're going to go up to the L1 and highlight the L1, and then you're going to hit the clear button and clear it, okay? So once you're there, that's now where you're going to enter your values. So for number 2, we're using the values from number 2. So we're going to list all the X values in L1 and all the Y values in L2, okay? So then down here, right, number 2, the X values are right here, the T, and then the Y values are going to be the H, okay? So those are what you're entering to the calculator right now. I'm going to give you a second to go ahead and do that first, okay? Yes, good, Francesca, yeah. I think those are the right answers, yeah. So, yeah, so once you enter the X values and the Y values in, right, you have a couple options. You can go and graph it, and that's what we did yesterday. If we want to skip straight to just finding the equation where we don't need to graph it, because in this case we don't need to graph it, on the first page, it's taking a while, sorry. On the first page, we're going to skip the stat plot and go all the way down to hit the button, the second button, 0, and get the catalog. Okay, so right here, this step. Okay, the step before that is if we need a scatter plot. Okay, so we're going to hit second button, 0, the number 0. It's going to give you a catalog. You're going to scroll down and make sure you're hitting diagnostic on. You're going to hit that twice, and it's going to say done. Okay. Once it says done, you can go back and hit the stat button where we started. And then this time, instead of edit, you're going to make sure you scroll over to calculate. Okay. And then if you look in the list, you're going to find the one that says quadratic reg, or quad reg, which stands for quadratic regression. Okay. You're going to hit enter, I think twice. Okay. And it's going to give you an A, B, and C. And that's what we're looking for right now, is the A, B, and C. Okay. Once you have the A, B, and C, you can test it out in these boxes down here and see if they change solid green, right? So A, B, and C. Did everyone get some numbers yet? Did you get A, B, and C? So let's check it. So A should be -16. Okay. B should have been 18. And then C, you should have got 480. Okay. So if you got that, then you did it right. And so then we're going to write it as an actual equation. So as an actual equation, you can see over here that it's y equals negative 16x squared plus 18x plus 480. Okay. Abigail. Shh. Does everyone have the equation? If you guys don't have it, let me know. Okay, so once we have this nice equation over here, we can look at part B. So part B says, how long will it take Braden to reach a height of 150 feet? So we're looking at 150 feet. That's the height, right? So that's the y value. So we're going to plug that y value in, right? But if you, depending on what process you're going to do to solve it, you might need to bring that y value, to the right of the equation if you're doing quadratic formula, right? So let me show you what that looks like, okay? So if we had 150 equals, and then the equation we got was negative 16x squared plus 18x plus, what was it, I forget now. Sorry. 480, right? If you want to use the quadratic equation, the formula, I mean, on this, you have to subtract the 150 from both sides. Because in order to use quadratic formula, it has to be set equal to 0, remember? And so then once you have that set up, you can go and use the quadratic formula to solve it. Okay? So let's look at that real quick.